Very warm welcome, everyone, to a brand new Business and Markets Week. I am Bosin Omofaye, and this is your Frontier Opening Bell. Let's get started. How did the market finish off on Monday, the first trading day of the new week? The Nigerian stock market finished 0.31% in the negative territory, brought down by a very sharp decline in the shares of Zenith Bank, the largest listed lender on the Nigerian exchange. Then you've got the BRVN down by 17 basis points. The market in Egypt for the first day with the rest of the region and the rest of Africa, the EGX30 was better, a very strong 1.78%. Same green shoots we saw in South Africa with the GSE 1.8%, while the Nairobi stock market was down by 1.09% at 121.96. That's on the composite. Let's quickly check through a couple of news making the headlines as we get the second day of the week started. Global crypto crime hit a record $20.1 billion. That's an uptick of about 7% last year, according to a report released yesterday by Chainalysis, a blockchain research organization. And the DR Congo says it started shipping the first batch of its fair trade gold to the United Arab Emirates. And we say congratulations on these commodity exports. In the meantime, the East African community is looking to set up its own regional central bank by the year 2023. But by the way, that's this year. So how would it look like? Would it look something similar to the central bank for the Central African Republic states? Or what would it look like? Or the one for the West Africa's French-speaking countries? Let's see what the structure will be and the capitalization or the base capital that is central bank. What will be the whole structure and operations of a common central bank for East Africa? That, if it happens, will further deepen financial integration between the biggest countries in East Africa, or the DRC also now in the EAC. That will be a very major setup for the East African community. But let's see how it all goes. Relief is now for Kenyan traders because Somalia has doubled what's Kenya's mirror export cap now to about 50 tons. That's the volume that Somalia has now agreed to be imported from Kenya. That's some of the Kenya East African top stories for you this Tuesday. Let's quickly cross to West Africa, where the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor, Godwin Emefiele, according to the media aides yesterday, says he's back in the country ahead of Monday, Tuesday next week, 23rd and 24th. Monetary policy meeting, the first in 2023. Nigeria's inflation reports data for December came through yesterday. There was an easing to 21.34% in the month of December, 0.3% down from the month of November, the first deceleration in about almost a year. And the International Labour Organization says employment will fall or will rise just 1% globally this year, down from 2.3% figure that was seen in 2023, and there was no major improvement seen on the horizon for the new year 2024. That's not some good news. Again, all this on the back of the global economic recession that is being forecast and the headwinds that refuse to go away. MTN Ghana is contesting $775 million, roughly the back taxes that the Ghana Revenue Authority is imposing or slamming on the telco giant. It says there's a serious contention around how that figure was arrived at. Senegal is repaying on January the 26th about 13.1 billion CFA franc, which is a Sukuk bond, which Senegal floated back in 2016 at a coupon of 6% to investors. Senegal is making good on the bond repayment. Great. Let's see what the Southern African news headlines look like. And as you can guess, it's all about electricity. There was an emergency meeting yesterday evening between President Ramaphosa, the business community, and the top management, the executives of Eskom, to try to find a solution to the country's intractable energy problem. Load shedding, stage 4 and 5, according to Eskom, will continue this week. Load shedding, blackouts in South Africa is expected to continue for a number of years to come. Eskom is loaded down with more than 400 billion rand in debt. But the news out of the meeting yesterday evening was that a new law is being crafted in South Africa by Ramaphosa's administration to help support Eskom and bring new energy sources on board to help Africa's most advanced economy that South Africa is, and also some talks that Eskom will be able to revamp very soon. How that will happen is anyone's guess. All these meetings on the back of President Ramaphosa cancelling his attendance at the Davos 2023, the World Economic Forum gathering in Switzerland, which enters its second day today. In the meantime, economists are forecasting that there's a 45% likelihood that South Africa will enter into recession in the current year, 2023, as load shedding worsens. In Zimbabwe, good news, OKZim said it's finally concluded the transaction, the acquisition of Food Lovers company. OKZim is listed on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, where reports coming through from last year shows a very improved transactions in terms of volume and turnover value on Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, as well as the Victoria for Securities Exchange, the VFEX, as it were. Let's leave Southern Africa and go straight to the northern part of the continent and touching down in North Africa with some of the biggest stories coming through. The Sovereign Fund of Egypt and Etisalat of Egypt are working together to float what you call an errata microfinance. This financial services will allow Etisalat to operate this microfinance under its mobile money platform, and a whole lot financial innovation that Etisalat Egypt thinks this new microfinance will bring to the table. Italian energy giant has announced a new gas discovery in Egypt, while Morocco is looking at its budget deficit to drop to about minus 20% of the GDP, down slightly from minus 22% for the year 2022. And finally, Libya's oil minister says the country has enough solar power to export electricity outside the North African country. You've been briefed. That's your Frontier Opening Bell this Tuesday. Go online and watch this show again and watch all our shows on energy, on markets, and other videos that we have on our YouTube. Subscribe. It is free. Follow us on social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as Facebook. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.